Well, hello there. Before we get started, I always have to put the disclaimer out. I do not own the rights to the background music. This music is from Clutonic, who has all rights reserved and is copyrighted, who has given me permission to use the background music. Let's get right into the podcast. Wait, are you telling me that I can imprison myself? That I can create my own mental prison? And I could be the one that's holding myself back? Wow. Welcome to Listening Every Day. It is your host, LAT, and I am hoping to be here to help you, encourage you, inspire you, make you laugh here and there, but most of all, hopefully share with you from my personal experiences, this life and this journey called life, and what has been going on and what I can do to become better and how you can become better and become the best version of yourself. So let's get right into this podcast, Listen in Every Day. Today, I want to share with you and talk to you about how we become our own prisoners, how we create our own prison and imprison ourselves mentally, and it could be even emotionally. So let's talk about it. Charles Manson quotes this: "We're all our own prisons. We are each all our own wardens, and we do our own time. I can't judge anyone else. What other people do is not really my affair unless they approach me with it. Prisons in your mind. Can't you see I'm free?" When I read this quote, I was like, oh my goodness, self-imprisonment. And this quote is found on quotefantasy.com or quotefancy.com. So sorry. So I was thinking about this week and breaking free. Well, we have to break free and walk in our freedom from our own prison that we created. And again, it starts with tackling those mental thoughts that come to us and that mind space or head space we find ourselves in, that we create our own prison and we hold our own selves back. I know I am very guilty at this sometimes in some seasons, and I was very much guilty at this in the past because a lot of my own insecurities and my own fears became the bars and the walls and the barriers that held me in prison mentally. So I created that self-imprisonment. I created a prisoner or a prison that I was my own prisoner, right? And if you ever seen the movie, or I'm going to say movie, the show Black Lightning. So I don't remember his name, but if you watch, it's an episode where one of the guys on there he is a prisoner in his own mind, but technically the enemy that is a poison. It's a poison that is behind bars. It looks like him, has his face and everything. So it's him, but it's him behind bars, and that's the enemy. Like, that's his own enemy, and it's internal. And I know I'm not making sense. I should have looked the character up, but it is on Black Lightning, you guys. And I use that example because basically I believe that's how we are. When we struggle with the thoughts, the insecurities, the depression, the anxiety, the stress, fear, these things become or create thoughts that hold us back and overshadow us, right? And in order to break free and to walk into freedom and acknowledge and recognize we are free, we have to seek guidance, we have to seek help, we have to take those necessary steps to pull away, to self-assess and see, when are these thoughts coming, what are creating these thoughts, what headspace am I in when these thoughts are happening, how am I managing it, and how can I better manage it? What can I do? For me, I had to seek spiritual guidance from some spiritual counselors in my life, and then I had to pray and I had to read scriptures, and I had to surround myself with people that loved me, supported me, that really truly was real with me. And that helped loosen the chains in my life, the prison chains that I had created for myself. And I have to start building myself up, right? My self-security, I don't know what you would call it, my confidence, there we go, opposite of insecurity. I had to start building that up, and I had to start conquering what fears were trying to overshadow me. And I had to have conversations with myself. I had to really take time away from everyone, away from social media, away from people, other than the people that I love, that are, that were supportive and, reminding me who I am, letting me know I'm loved. It took courage and it took patience. And I'm not saying that I still don't struggle every once in a while, but I'm not where I used to be, where I was behind bars in my head and stuck in prison, right? I am free, but I still struggle at times. So the difference is that I'm no longer bound completely by that, or I have not self-imprisoned myself any longer, because I understand and I recognize I am free and want to walk in freedom. I mean, it's a process and it takes time. And I'll tell you, I used to be really worse. I used to be really bad at being very analytical. I'm still an analytical person and analyze everything. Shout out to the Aquarius, whoop whoop. But I have learned to manage what thoughts I hold on to, right? Or the thoughts that I entertain or even allow in my headspace, because I really, distinguish the difference between things I can control and things that's out of my control. So that kind of helped me to stop being so analytical and stop being so in depth with certain things to an extent, and start to come up with solutions and figure things out, right? And to overcome those thoughts that I'm challenged with. When it comes, what can I immediately start to, switch my mindset to, or switch my mind or thoughts to? What can I read, or who can I call that's in my circle that I trust, that I can share this with no judgment, that can say, let me pray over this, or let me read something to encourage you. So what I am going to leave you with is, find trusted ones or loved ones that's going to be real with you, that's going to help build your confidence in those areas that you're battling and you're challenged with, and people that can pray with you and keep it real with you when you're going into that dark space, or when it seems like you're no longer being yourself and you're in prison again, right? And not only surround yourself with those people, but you're gonna have to fight for yourself too, because you're not gonna always have someone 24/7 to call on. So you're going to have to trust God and really just pray, and you're going to have to want to choose to break free from the prison that you created yourself by watching inspirational things, listening to inspirational speakers and influencers, and break away from some of the things that may trigger social media, certain movies, certain music, certain places. So you have to start taking the necessary steps so that you can walk in your freedom too and break free from the chains and bars and barriers that you created yourself. So I leave you with this question. Do you want to be free? Do you want to walk in your freedom? Do you understand that God has already set you free indeed? However, you imprison yourself, your thoughts. Do you want to break those barriers? And if you do, how bad do you want to do it? Are you going to take the necessary steps? Sometimes you have to seek guidance. You have to see a counselor. You have to go seek help to help, depending on how grand it is, how big it is, how severe, and how long you've been imprisoning yourself. How long have you been struggling with this, and how much help do you need? Start making the steps and necessary steps. But I can tell you, it's not easy, but it's easier once you start to make that decision and choose, right? It becomes easy when you say, you know what, this is what I choose. I want to be free. I want to break free. So I hope and encourage you to just break free, live in your freedom, walk in your freedom, accept your freedom, and remind yourself each and every day that you are free, and speak that and walk in that and encourage others. I hope you have a wonderful day and be blessed.
Yay!
Okay, last chime in. I had to make sure I looked the character up, but it was Painkiller, okay? Painkiller was the character I was talking about in Black Lightning. So if you can check that out, you'll kind of get the example and demonstration that I was using with becoming your own prisoner and imprisoning yourself. Alrighty, bye. Y'all have a good one.